Good morning, Octopus class. I hope that you are well and have had a lovely break. In maths today we are looking at multiplying and dividing by 10 and 100. Now we know that when we multiply a number we are making it bigger, and when we are dividing a number we are making it smaller. Now you are very good at telling me in class that when we are timesing by 10 we are making the number 10 times bigger. So I will put my number, which is 9, into my place value grid. And if I am making it 10 times bigger, then I need to move my number, so number 9, one place to the left. Okay, so I'm going to move my number over here. So my 9 goes into my 10s column. Now I have nothing in my ones column, but if I didn't put any digit in this column, my number 9 would just fall down. So I need a placeholder, which is 0. So 9 times 10 would be 90. Okay. Similarly, if I was looking at timesing by 100, I would be making my number 100 times bigger. So I'll place my number into my place value grid, and I now need to move my number 2 places. Now remember the trick, we know how much we need to move our digit by how many zeros we have in the number we are multiplying by. So we have 2 zeros, so we are moving our digit 2 places to the left. So my 8 is now in my hundreds column, and I have 2 columns here with nothing in, so I need to make sure my 8 doesn't fall down my columns, so I need to use 2 placeholders this time. Okay, so my answer would be 800. Now, when dividing by 10 and 100, we are making our number 10 or 100 times smaller. So I am looking at 7 divided by 10. Now we're going to be going into our decimal numbers. So I'll pop my 7 into my place value grid, and I am making it 10 times smaller. So I am still moving it 1 column because there is 1 0, and I'm ignoring my decimal points because they never move, and I'm moving it 1 place to the right. So my 7 will be in my tenths column. Now I'm going to pop a placeholder in my ones column. So my answer is 0.7. So now let's try 28 divided by 100. So I need to make sure that I'm placing my 2 and my 8 digits in the correct column. So 2 in the tens column and 8 in the ones column. And I need to move my numbers step by step. Now I'm moving them 2 columns to the right because I'm making the number smaller. I am dividing. So 1, 2. So I know my 8 is now my hundredths column. And then I'm going to move my 2, 1, 2. So my 2 has become 2 tenths. It's in the tenths column. And I'll pop in my placeholder to show there is no whole digits. So my answer is 0.28. Now you will come across in your silver task some questions that have missing numbers, and you need to fill in the gaps. So for example, if I had the number 3 and I was timesing it by something to make 300, I'd have to think about how much I had moved that number, how much bigger I had made that number. So if I popped my 3 into my ones column and I've made 300, so this is my finishing number. Okay, how much bigger or smaller have I made my 3? Well, I have moved it 2 places to the left. So I have timesed it by 100 because I've moved it 2 columns, and I know that because I've got 2 zeros in my 100 number. Okay, and a similar question, 32 divided by something is 3.2. So if I had 32, okay, and my number becomes 3.2, there's my 3, and there's my 2, and my decimal point is already in there for me. I have moved my 2 1 place to the right. So I know, because 10 has 1 0 in it, that I have divided by 10. So your silver questions today are just like this. You are timesing and dividing by 10 and 100. You have some missing number problems, and you have some true or false questions at the end where you just need to check if the answer is correct. For gold, you are starting to problem solve. So the examples you have on your questions use monsters. So I've put some ideas onto here to help us. So if 7 monsters split into 10 monsters, how many monsters will there be? So it is asking you to work out what calculation you need. Okay, so you have 7 monsters, which we will underline our key numbers. 7 monsters split into 10 monsters. So 7 monsters, and we're making more monsters, we're splitting them. So we are increasing our number, making it bigger. So we are timesing by 10. So this question would ask you to times by 10. Question 2 then, if 6 monsters split into 10 monsters, and then all of these monsters split into 10 monsters, how many monsters will there be? This is a 2-step problem. So the first part of the problem is exactly the same as the one above. We've got 6 monsters, and we've split them, or made the bigger number, into 10 monsters. Okay, now I know 6 times 10 is 60. It then says, so that's step 1, 6 monsters split into 10 monsters. All of those monsters split into 10 monsters. So I know that I need to take my answer, which is 60, and I need to times that again by 10, which would make 600. So I would have 600 monsters. Okay, and the last kind of question, which group would be bigger if 3 monsters split into 10 monsters and all of those monsters split into 10 monsters, or if 3 monsters split into 100 monsters? So you have 2 different questions to work out there, and then you need to explain which is bigger and why. So you need to use sentences to explain your answer. So your first group would be 3 monsters split into 10, which is 30, and then those monsters splitting into 10 again, which would be 300. Your second one, if 3 monsters split into 100 monsters, well, that would be 3 times 100, which would make 300. Oh, well, my answer's the same for both. So my answer would be the groups are the same size. Okay. Moving on to platinum then, you are looking at calculations that the characters have done and whether they are right or wrong. So you need to explain if each character is right or wrong. So for example, Rachel has done 3,600 divided by 10 is 36. So is she right or wrong, and tell me why. What mistake has she made? And also similarly, Carl has done 1,643 times 0 is 164.3. Is he correct? And why? What mistake has he made? And your final question, the 7 friends went to defeat the monsters. Fill in the table to show how many monsters they have to fight. So the important thing here is to notice how many friends are going into the fight. So we have 3 monsters to fight each. So it's 3 times 7 is 21. Okay, so there's an example for you. Now, your second row, you have the total is 35. Now, you know you are dealing with 7 friends but you are doing the inverse, so 35 divided by 7, which is 5. And then finally, we have 6 monsters fighting 7 friends, so that is 6 times 7. Okay, I hope that this flip chart and me explaining has helped a little bit. If you need any further advice and you're not sure, please feel free to get in contact with me. Can you please make sure that you send all of your learning to me so that I can take a look at what a fantastic job you are doing and also help if you are finding anything difficult. Okay, speak soon. Bye.